reminder, this is going to be a best of 5 grand finals, not a best of 3. So a lot more maps are going to be played here. Also, very important to note is that one of our players is going to start with a 1-0 advantage because of the double elimination bracket. Because our Zerg player here did not drop a series, he will have this score advantage in the finals. So, here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE. We have the Peruvian Zerg player. He is red, representing the CranKy Ducklings. This man hasn't dropped a single series tonight. It is Ryu. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, the Dark Horse himself. He got knocked down, in the bracket very early on in today's tournament, but he fought his way back up. In an incredible run, he took down the Zerg Lord. He took down Zions. He is the Peruvian Protoss, representing Root Gaming. It is INFANSON, aka Marooned. My god. He's already had an incredible run. Even if he gets knocked out here, I'm sure he should be proud of what he has accomplished. Again, he's already in the money. He's already earned some money today due to being second place. Or if he gets knocked out here, top two do get paid out. And taking down the Zerg Lord and taking down Zions, not a lot of people can say that they've done that. So again, incredibly impressive result already. Can he go further? Can he take down someone of the caliber of Ryu? That's going to be the question. So, if you've been tuning in here for the majority of today's broadcast, you would have seen Ryu versus Zions. Game 1 and Game 2, Ryu went to the late game in 2 different scenarios with 2 different compositions. Infestor, Viper, Hydra, and Infestor, Viper, Corruptor. With, Ultras sprinkled in, and Queens, and Spore Forests. We had some very long, very solid late game ZvPs. And this is the thing about Ryu. In the late game, that is where he is the scariest. That is where he is terrifying. He thrives on that late game ZvP. But when it comes to the early game, he can struggle. I have seen Paco Mike time and time again demolish Ryu in the early game with Glaive Adepts, with Stargate openers into Glaive Adepts, or with Blink Stalker timings. It is in that period, in like the mid game, or early to mid game, where Ryu is at his weakest. So maybe INFANSON can exploit that in some way. Oh boy. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, mate, INFANSON, if you try to go late game against Ryu, mate, I don't know what's going through your mind. That is not what you want to be doing. But we'll see. We'll see what he has in store for us. As the Slowlings do waddle in, and the Slowlings actually confirm the Stargate opener, so does this Overlord. So Ryu is well aware of the Void Ray that is coming out across the map. Meanwhile, what's the follow-up going to be? That is the question. Are we going to see a second Stargate, or are we going to see a Twilight Council? INFANSON also has the advantage of previously playing Ryu in this tournament in a best of 3, so hopefully he was able to learn something from that series. Obviously, unfortunately, we didn't get to see that series, so we don't know what happened, we don't know what he tried to pull off, but whatever it was, it didn't work. So now he has another chance. As again, we have another Ling here, just scouting, confirming the lack of third. We have Pneumatized Carapace on the way as well, so Ryu is going to be going for that follow-up scout to see if it is a second Stargate, or if it's, DTs, Zealots, Glaives, whatever it could be. Oh boy. As a third is thrown down. Oh my god. And we actually have a Robo follow-up. Oh, so this is looking like Glaives. Mein Gott. Oh my god, never mind. I apologize. So, we do have 3 gases, we don't just have 2, but despite the 3 gases, we still have a commitment into charge lots. 4 more gates are thrown down. In total, we have 6 gate charge. That's gonna be a lot of Zealots. And this needs to be scouted. First things first, the Void Ray is denied here by these queens, and we need an Overlord. Pneumatized Carapace has completed, but we still don't have a scout. Ryu needs to get in, and he needs to see. Oh my god, more gateways are being thrown down! Mate, this third base is just for show. Look at that worker count. INFANSON hasn't made a probe in a long time. He doesn't intend to saturate this third. It's a fake third. He wants to go for the all-in. Oh god, Ryu, he checks the third base, he confirms that there are no drones, but he needs to get into the main base, and there we go, the Overlord is poised to dive into the main. Do we have a Roach Warren? We do have a Roach Warren, so Ryu was not being too greedy. He will confirm the Warp Prism, and that's a massive tell, and he will also confirm all of these gateways. Now we need roaches. Roach production has commenced, but is it too late? Because you know what? The Warp Prism is already across the map. That's the thing about Blackburn. You hit so quickly because of the short rush distance by air and by ground. Here we go, Zealots have been spotted, charge has been revealed, but again, Ryu just needs to slow this down. He needs to buy time for his roaches. Oh my god, the queens are out of position. He was trying to intercept the Warp Prism, and he is here in position. He was trying to force field the ramp, but you know what? The queens are here in time. The Void Rays are being focused down. Yeah, we do still have a massive warping of Zealots. Is it going to be enough here? The queens are trying to get the Warp Prism, but the Warp Prism survives. Yo, can he get the force field off? The Zealots are going ham here in the main, but workers have not died. We do have a force field on the ramp though, and with that, Ryu is cut off from his natural. Oh my god, another massive warping of Zealots. The Zealots, he's doing it. Can INFANSON break our Zerg player here? Meanwhile, it looks like the force fields have run out. Now, finally, the queens can move down into the natural. What I will say is that killing a third is not enough. He has to go for the third. He has to kill Ryu outright. Can he do so? The queens are going down. Another massive warp in. I think it's too much. I think there are just too many Zealots. Ryu is trying to hold on here, but GG gets called. And INFANSON takes game number 1 and ties up the series with a lovely all-in. Ryu, it took him a long time to scout. It took him a long time to get into the main base and actually see what was happening. If you recall, when Ryu saw all those gateways, the Warp Prism was already across the map. On top of that, Ryu was doing a really good job at denying the force field on the ramp and the warping into the main, but his queens were kind of misled. We saw the queens overcommit to the defense in the main base, and in the end we still saw that force field on the ramp and the natural was destroyed. So Ryu was just out of position. If his queens were just a little bit more on top of that, Ryu would have been okay. And with that, INFANSON ties up the series. He's doing it, mate. He's doing it. We'll see. We'll see if he can pull it off here. Again, this is still a best of 5, so still at least 2 more games ahead of us. And this is how you need to deal with Ryu. I was talking about it at the start of the series. Ryu, in the late game, 100% he's going to win. He is favored, 100%. But in the early game and in the mid game, that is where he can struggle a little bit, right? Maybe sometimes he's a little bit too greedy, and this is where you need to strike. To be fair, a lot of that also comes down to the map. A build like that will not work on 2000 atmospheres. It will not work on even Pride of Altaris. It won't even work on Glittering Ashes. Blackburn specifically is an ideal map to try and go for that build. So if you're a Protoss player out there, and if you want something cheeky for Blackburn, that is what you want to be doing. You want to be going for a charge all-in. It just hits different. It hits different on Blackburn. But now we end up on a more standard map. We are diving into 2000 atmospheres. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 atmospheres ALE, we have the Peruvian Zerg player. He is red, representing the CranKy Ducklings. Losing the last game, but still tied up in this series, it is Ryu. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 atmospheres, we have the Peruvian Protoss, representing Root Gaming, tying up the series after a cheeky all-in. It is INFANSON. Oh, Garberham, gotta stick with my Protoss boys. Ah. For sure it's in Garberham. Ah. Going head to head, facing off here in the predictions. Who's it gonna be, mate? Who is it gonna be? Meanwhile, Funada Kuro. Kuro's still awake in the chat. Kuro, what the hell? You should be asleep. Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head, Kuro. I guess there's no tournament tomorrow, so she doesn't have to wake up early. But she's gonna be here to cheer for our boys, El Pato himself. You know what? I'm gonna do something a little bit controversial. I'm gonna get a copy pasta going in the chat. I gotta cheer for my boy, alright? We're a little bit biased here because you know what? We are the CranKy Ducklings, and one of the CranKy Ducklings is playing right now after losing a game. Yaku is coming out strong. Where is it? Where's the copy paste? Oh no, sorry, not copy paste. Mario's Junction. Give me moments, give me moments. Yeah, here we go. Spam this blue for El Condor Ryu. Let's go. Ryu has a lot of nicknames, you know. He is the Street Fighter himself, right? Ryu. He is also the Condor. What does that mean? Fun fact. That's his last name. Oh god, he's not quite an aquatic bird, but he's a bird nonetheless. He is the Condor, mate. He's going to be swooping in, flying in to take out his opponent, and we'll see if he can pull that off. Meanwhile, here we are, now focusing on the game. We have a very different opening here. Oh, can INFANSON wall off? It looks like he cannot. The Slowlings are going to get in. Up. The Slowlings get in. The wall was not down in time. The Stalker was completely out of position, and the Slowlings will scout the Twilight Council opener. No Void Rays. This can only mean one thing. This should mean a Glaive Adept opener. Regardless, Ryu should throw down a Roach Warren in response. There it is. Glaives are on the way. How committed is this going to be? That is the big question. Because Glaive pushes come in different variants. They come in different styles. We can have 4-gate Glaive Adept. We can have 6-gate Glaive Adept. Or we can just go ham and go 8 Glaive Adept. 8 gates, mate. That's a lot of gates. So we'll see how many are thrown down. How all in is INFANSON going to be? Meanwhile, Ryu, he's got to respect this. He needs to spread creep. He needs to connect all his bases. He needs roaches. And depending on how many gateways, he could even need spine crawlers. Here we go, as the Robo is thrown down for the War Prism to go across the map. So far, only 4 gates, so this is pretty standard. 4 gates means that this doesn't have to kill your opponent. It just has to deal some damage, and you can transition from here. You can throw down a 3rd base. You can throw down a Robotics Bay for disruptors. Like, there's... Again, it's just an opener. The real question is, where's my Splash Redemption? Aye. We'll get on the splash. Alright, here we go. 3rd base is thrown down. This is what I mean, right? With Glaive Adepts, with 4-gate Glaive Adepts like this, you can get a 3rd base behind it. The Adepts are shading across the map. Ryu is getting a spine, by the way, so he's being very safe with this. He goes in for a 2nd scout. He confirms the lack of gateways. He knows, I may not even need this spine. Like, I should be fine. Ryu should not lose too many workers at all. Ooh, the Glaives, he doesn't commit to the shade. So far, so good for Ryu. And INFANSON has to be careful because he's poking the bear with this. Like, he is poking, he's prodding, he's forcing Ryu to make an army, and after these Adepts get defended, Ryu can go for a counterattack and deny the 3rd base. So, INFANSON's gotta be careful. He's gotta be careful. Meanwhile, Ryu, he's gonna go in, he confirms the 3rd is on location. It is on the way. And with that, these Lings, they can just zoom across the map. Not yet though. He doesn't want to throw. He wants to make sure that these Adepts are dealt with first as they test the waters. And interesting, we have a follow-up. We do not have Disruptors. We don't have a Robotic Spate. Instead, we have Immortal Production, and we are going into Blink Stalkers. Ground Toss is upon us. Oh boy. Ground toss is a thing. This will hit hard. +1 Blink Stalkers can hit very hard, but it doesn't scale well. The reason why you don't see too much ground toss is that it dies hard to Hydra Lurker Viper. It's so difficult to push into Hydra Lurker Viper because disruptors are not going to be enough because of those abducts. But of course that is as the game gets a little bit later. Oh, he accidentally commits to the shade. No! Forces a recall. The adepts have been dealt with, and now Ryu has map control. And Ryu has options available. He scouts once again. He confirms that Blink is on the way, and he can either go straight into Hydras and straight into Lurkers, or he has opted to go for Tunneling Claw Roaches. He wants to utilize the Roaches that he has created, because they're kind of dead weight. So why not make more Roaches, double down, and go for Harassment instead? Meanwhile, he has to be careful because Marooned made those Immortals, and he is going for a follow-up push. Blink is done, +1 is done, INFANSON is going to hit hard. Meanwhile, Ryu has a decent army, but he doesn't have vision. He doesn't see what's coming his way. Finally, the Stalkers have revealed themselves, and Ryu has to respect this. Oh god, the Stalkers are coming in towards the third base. Ryu, Roach Speed isn't done yet. Oh god, he's being caught in an awful position. The force fields have been thrown down. Roaches are getting picked off one after the other. Ryu, though, he just needs a little bit more time. The Queens and the Roaches, the Spine isn't in the best position, but he's going for a bit of a flank. And with this, he is breaking on forward. The Biles are connecting on the Immortal. The Immortal is getting pretty low. Can he focus it down? Oh god, it looks like he is trying to, and he will. With the death of the Immortal, there are only Blink Stalkers left, but the Blink Stalkers are honestly dealing a lot of damage. He blinks on forward. We need more reinforcements. 13 Roaches are on the way. And are they going to come out in time? Honestly, it looks like they may. We have a couple of Biles connecting with the War Prism. Nice target fire. The Queens actually focus down the War Prism. And with the death of the War Prism, that means that there aren't going to be any more reinforcements. Ryu just needs time. The 13 Roaches are about to pop. And with those 13 Roaches, Ryu should be fine. He's done it. He's held. He's pulling the boys. Oh, there we go. Burrow is revealed. Gonna get back to work. He will lose a couple of drones, but he can afford to lose workers. He was ahead in the economy. He's got a 4th base. He's droning up. Or he has droned up is what I should say. Again, this Spine should have been repositioned, to be honest. But these Blink Stalkers, they're kind of running out of their effectiveness. We have Lings coming in, the Roaches, they're pushing on forward. Again, trading so well here. But we do have a follow-up War Prism. Yo, he's not stopping. He's breaking through. The Lings were needed earlier. Oh god, it's so close. We have another Blink on forward. Where are those Lings? Finally, they're coming up, but it looks like Ryu, he's being broken. Make that Spine. Shaking my head. Oh god, the Blink Stalkers are just too good here. He cleans up all of the Lings. Again, drones are being forced off the line here. Can Ryu hold against the all-in? It's so close. Ugh. I mean, he's trading it again. I mean, I'll get into it after this game ends. Oh god, but the Blinks are honestly pretty good here from INFANSON. He has done it. He has broken through. GG gets called. And INFANSON takes the lead in this series. Oh my god. That's insane. And Ryu punished for his Burrow. Going for Tunneling Claws and going for Burrow like that, it's great if you're going to counterattack, right? If you're going to be the aggressor. It doesn't help in the defense. As we saw, it didn't really help at all there. Ryu was being greedy. Like, instead of throwing down a Hydra Den, instead of working on his army, he was working on tech to harass when an all-in was coming. Oof. That was beautifully executed there by INFANSON, and Ryu again punished for how he was taking up there. Oof. Brutal, mate, brutal. And just like that, INFANSON, he only needs one more win to take the series. Meanwhile, Ryu, he's got to tighten up, man. He's got to take his opponent seriously. Also, Funara Tavo just messaged me and he said that he just woke up. Hey, look at the time. Tavo, his sleep schedule is ruined. Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head. Ah, God. And Ryu, underestimating the power of his opponents and the commitments to the follow-up from those Glaive Adepts. And this is scary. We are loading into the smallest map in the map pool. If there were ever a moment for our Protoss player to cause an upset, it is on this map. Mate. Can he do it? We'll find out. Meanwhile, I know it's quite late in Italy, as Ryu does hail from Europe. Can he do it? Can he cause the can he make the comeback happen? INFANSON just needs one more, man. Only one more. And again, I love how aggressive he is being here. Like, Ryu wants to get into the late game, but he's not being let to go there. He just can't like make the game go longer than 15 minutes. Meanwhile, shout out to Hanette the Bird in the chat. Welcome, Hanette, welcome. Welcome, as you're tuning in just in time for the grand finals. Meanwhile, it looks like we're taking a while to load in here, so someone may have disconnected. Feels bad, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So we're probably gonna have to remake here. For those wondering, the loading bar is stuck. This typically means that someone in the lobby, whether it's Ryu or INFANSON or Cosmos, someone has disconnected. That's why it has paused like this. So right now, the game is waiting for that person to either reconnect or it's gonna time out, and and we're gonna have to remake. I say we're gonna have to remake. If Cosmos has lagged out and if his internet is down, then we will probably keep going. Let's check out Cosmos' stream. Is he still live? Cosmos, please. Por favor. Okay. Cosmos is still here. His stream is live, at least. His stream is live. No! Cosmos! Ay. Hold on, I'm gonna DM Cosmos. Alright, I just told him that he can restream the Ducklings. Ay, God. Funada Cosmos. Alright, here we go, as we are diving into game numero 4, number 4 of this best of 5 grand finals here in Sentimiento Latino, number 119. Potentially the final game of the finals, and here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the Peruvian Zerg player. He's red, representing the CranKy Ducklings, but down in this series, it is Ryu. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the Peruvian Protoss. He is blue, representing Roost Gaming. The Dark Horse himself, causing the upset. He just needs one more to win his very first Sentimiento Latino. It is INFANSON. Ay. INFANSON, he is so close, and I'm scared. I'm so scared for Ryu right now because, mate, we're on Berlingrad. The entire time today I've been talking about how Ryu's weakest in the early game, and now he's on the smallest map in the map pool. Like, he is poised to be all in. INFANSON's just gonna pick a build and go for it, and Ryu is gonna be on the back foot. He is gonna be struggling here. And already he's struggling because just like that, he's forced to take the unnatural natural base. Marooned does deny the natural, so now he is a little bit more vulnerable to Glaive Adepts, if that is what comes out here. Meanwhile, Ryu did go for a standard opener hatch gas pool. Again, he's typically not the aggressor. He's a much more passive kind of player here in the early game. And we see Marooned actually not go for a Twilight Council. Instead, he goes for a Stargate. I'm a little bit concerned about this, because this is looking pretty standard. The Lings are going to slip in, and Ryu will scout the Stargate with the slow Lings. Once again, he's so good when it comes to his scouting. He confirms it's not going to be a Twilight Council, so he knows that he can delay his Roach Warren. He can drone up and make queens. Now, what's important is the follow-up. Is there going to be a Twilight Council behind this? I imagine there will be. I wouldn't be opposed to Marooned maybe going for charge loss again. Just like game number 1, I feel like he could find some success. We'll see as he throws down a pylon, and I imagine he's going to be throwing down the Twilight Council here, behind the main base. And this Void Ray has a lot of work to do. He needs to clean up as many Overlords as possible. Meanwhile, we do have 2 Adepts. They do commit to the Shade, but they are going to be taken out here. Ay. Doesn't even get a single drone. So a little bit of an unlucky Shade there. But at least the other Adept does survive. He does return back home. And now I'm looking for that follow-up. We do have a second Void Ray on the way. We do have Warp Gate, not +1 air attack. And I'm waiting for the Twilight Council. Meanwhile, the Overlord is being set up here by Ryu to dive into the main base. Third base is thrown down for INFANSON. Is he going to play standard? That would be insane. He throws down a second Stargate. He's going double Stargate Void Ray against Ryu. He's lost his goddamn mind. He wants to prove himself. He's like, yo, look, I've done nothing but all in so far this series, and I'm oh so close. But I want to prove that I can play Sky Toss against Ryu, and I can pull it off. Bold move, Marooned. Bold move, INFANSON. If Zion's couldn't do it, does he really think that he can? We shall see. +1 air attack is on the way. We have the second Stargate for Mass Void Ray. We don't have a Fleet Beacon or anything crazy like that, so he's not going into Fast Carriers or Fast Tempest. And Ryu hasn't scouted this. He hasn't gone in yet. Does he have Pneumatized? He doesn't even have Pneumatized Carapace. Oh my god. He's playing in the dark. He does confirm the third base, which is great, but that is all he sees. Meanwhile, we do have a very fast lair on the way, +1 ranges on the way as well. This is looking to me like Ryu wants to go into Hydras, especially with that +1 range. So Ryu, he is comfortably getting into the mid game. This is the game that Ryu wants to play. And we shall see. The creep is being spread beautifully. There is that Hydrogen that we were talking about. Ryu, he can hit hard with a +1 timing, maybe a +2, as a couple of Void Rays are on the way. Spores are being thrown down. Do we have enough Queens? This third base and main are looking a little bit exposed, and these Void Rays, they want to find some damage. Here we go. The Void Rays are going to be dipping into the third base. There are Queens on a Spore, but what about the main? There is a Spore, but not in position for a Void Ray. Instead, it's in position for an Oracle. It needs to be moved. The Void Rays do reveal themselves here. The Queens are given enough time to respond, though. And the Queens shoot first. The Void Rays are forced back, and Hydras are coming out. So you know what? Ryu, he hasn't sustained any losses. He's bought enough time for the Hydras. He will have plenty of anti-air. Meanwhile, we have a Robo on the way. Interesting. INFANSON is not Zion's. If this was Zion's, he'd be going Void Ray into Carrier, into Void Ray Carrier. But because I would like to think that INFANSON is willing to go into splash damage, we need some Disruptors. We need some Colossus. We need something to deal with the Hydras. What is it going to be here for INFANSON? That is the question. He's going straight into Fleet Beacon, which isn't bad, but again, pure Skytoss can struggle against Ryu. But we shall see. The Void Rays, they rotate around. They rotate from the third all the way around south towards that fourth base, and it is so exposed. Ryu cannot hold on to this. He's going to be forced to cancel. Oh, that was a kill, not a cancel. Ryu slipping up hard there. Gonna be forced to double expand if he wants to get a base up and running. The Hydras were just a little bit too late, and there is not enough creep in this position. The creep instead is all the way across the map because he wants to hit a timing. I mean, aggressively, this is great, but he's gonna lose the fourth base again. Ryu, please! Oh my god! The Void Rays, they're actually avoiding the fourth. They go straight into the natural. Meanwhile, the Queens are coming across the map. This is still gonna hit hard. Ryu is gonna deny the fourth of INFANSON. Oh, meanwhile, he's losing gases. Oh god. Ryu being so aggressive here, he's going to be able to defend with his queens. Meanwhile, he will force a cancel on the fourth base, and now he is going for the natural. We're going to need to see a recall. Recall. There we go. Void Rays are recalled all the way back home. Is that going to be enough? The Hydras are pushing forward. Where are the queens? The queens are not here, and without the support of the queens, the Void Rays will be able to push away all of these Hydras. Was it worth it for Ryu? He lost his fourth, but he did get a kill on the. He did deny the fourth of INFANSON, so equal bases so far. Ooh, the Cyber Core is gonna get focused down. If that falls, that means +1 air attack is not gonna be available for Marooned. Oh, it's so low! It's so low! Oh my god, and here we go, the queens are showing up. Not just the queens, but also the infestors. We're going to see some fungals, and Ryu, he is snowballing. He is breaking through the defenses of Marooned. INFANSON was just a little bit too greedy. He was doing a great job at denying the fourth, but it is not enough. GG gets called, and Ryu fights back. GG. I was talking about disruptors earlier. He threw down the robo. He needed something else. Like, again, disruptors would have been amazing defensively, or zealots, or anything other than pure Void Ray. Oof. We saw that Ryu's fourth base was so exposed. There was no creep there, but that was intentional. Where was the creep? The creep was headed across the map. Ryu wanted to hit a timing with +2, and he hit it. And even though he couldn't get a fourth base up and running, even though he was losing his gases at his natural, it didn't matter because he was going to hit that push, hit that timing. And boy, did he hit it, mate. GG. Oh, God. And with that, we are going to the ace match. We are going to game number 5. It all ends here. Game 5, the final game of today's tournament. Meanwhile, have a look to see how... So hopefully we can bring Cosmos in here. And the ace match is going to be on Hardwire. Oh my god. Let us get everyone in here. I believe. It's going to be mass observers, Kappa. Oh god. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Hold on, let's open up Cosmos' stream. Alright, here we go. We have our casters, we have our players. Game 5, Hardwire. A longer map. Interesting. I'm very interested to see what INFANSON does here, because Skytoss is not the answer. You don't want to play Skytoss against Ryu. That is what Ryu is comfortable with. Glaive Adepts, Chargelots, All-Ins. That is what works, and that is what has been working for INFANSON in this series. But is that too obvious? We'll find out as we are diving into the ace match here, the final game of today's tournament of Sentimiento Latino 119. This is where we crown our champion this week, and we'll see who it's going to be. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the CranKy Duckling himself, the red Zerg fighting back in this series, taking it to the ace match. It is El Condor, Ryu. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the Peruvian Protoss player, the Dark Horse himself. He has never won a Sentimiento Latino, but after a hiatus, after being on his new team, Roots Gaming, he has leveled up quite a bit. Can he do it? Can he get that first championship for himself? It's the Blue Protoss. It is INFANSON. My god. Again, he's already had an amazing performance. He took down the Zerg Lord. He took down Zions. He's going to the ace match against Ryu. It's insane how much INFANSON has improved over the past couple of months. He has been on the rise. But again, especially when it comes to joining Root Gaming, he has achieved so much today. Can he go all the way? Again, even if he doesn't, he should be proud of himself. Like, he's done so well for himself. Better! The best performance he has ever achieved before. Can he go further? Can he get a win? We'll find out. Meanwhile, Ryu has been struggling a little bit against the all-ins. The Glaive Adepts, the Charge Lots. Oh, God. Just barely he hasn't been able to hold. He's been a little bit too greedy. But now he's on notice. He knows to look out for that sort of stuff. So I'm sure he's going to be on point with his scouting. And we may see a longer game here. We'll see. Are we going to see a Stargate or a Twilight Council? That is the question from the side of INFANSON. Huh. There we go. Exclamation mark B in the chat. If you want to have a look. Oh, God. I didn't know birds can be sexy. Yo, ducks, though. Just saying. Hold on. Hold on. Ducks, though. They can be pretty sexy. Ay. I love these overlays. I love that we can do that. All right, here we go. We do have a Twilight Council opening from Marooned, and this makes perfect sense. Let's be real. He has had success with the Twilight Council openings, with the aggressive plays here with his tech, so he is going straight into Glaive Adepts. I'm a little bit concerned though. Hardwire is a very long map, so this isn't going to be the most effective opener, and this is scouted. The Overlord will dip in. Unfortunately, Ryu doesn't check the gases at the natural, but I mean, he doesn't need to. Like, a Twilight Council this early, researching, he knows it's Glaive Adepts, and we have a Roach Warren on the way. There we go, we have an explosion of gateways. This Ling is going to dip in a little bit. Oh, he actually does confirm the gateway here. Doesn't see the Robo, but again, he knows that he needs to be defensive here. He's spreading his creep, he's connecting his bases. Ryu was at a little bit of a disadvantage because of the unnatural natural. The natural was thrown down at the third location, so it does mean that excess creep has to be spread to connect all the bases. But so far, the creep is looking pretty good, and the roaches are already coming out. Meanwhile, how many gateways is this? So far, it is 4 gates in total, so not the most committed. We saw this earlier in this series. When INFANSON realized that the Glaive Adepts couldn't deal too much damage, he never committed, he stayed back with the Glaive Adepts, and he went for a follow-up Blink Stalker push. And he was able to win with that, with Blink Stalkers, with +1, and Immortals. So again, even if these initial Glaive Adepts don't deal too much damage, INFANSON has another plan behind that. Meanwhile, here we go. The Glaive Adepts are coming across the map. They do get spotted by the Overlord, and so will the War Prism. Just barely get spotted. And now Ryu, he has to prepare. He does have a Spore. He has his Queens, again, to focus down that War Prism if it gets too close. Meanwhile, we have another Warp in of those Adepts. He is shading in. But the Lings are here to chase the shade, and the Roaches are already here to meet the Adepts. Oh, he commits, actually. Oh my god, right in the face of those Lings. I don't know if that was the best idea. A lot of these Adepts, they get softened up, and now they're going down. Oh, can they get any of these drones? It looks like they commit into the main base. They get 4 drones in total. 5 actually. Oh my god, as we have a couple more adepts at the third. Damage is being done. Is it going to be enough? He's going to need a little bit more, though, if he wants this to really pay for itself. More adepts are being warped in here at the third base location. He's trying to pull apart Ryu, but honestly, these lings are where they need to be. Oh my god. In the end, 6 drones go down. It's okay, but I'm sure INFANSON wanted a little bit more damage, especially because he committed into warping in more adepts. He has a third on the way, but it is so late, and you know what? It's vulnerable to a link counterattack. Unfortunately, INFANSON, he just warped in across the map. He's not going to have anything to defend at home. He's going to be forced to cancel. INFANSON, not like this. The third base is cancelled. The adepts are committed across the map, but we have plenty of roaches and plenty of queens as well. He's going to try and get more worker kills. Oh, maybe he can. He will get 2, maybe even 3. But this is not worth it. All the adepts get cleaned up, and INFANSON is stuck on 2 bases. The Lings here denying any kind of expansion. Immortals are on the way, but where's the Blink? Where's the Forge? Like, this follow-up, it's barely here. A gateway's gonna go down. Finally, we have a warping at home, but it's so late. Oh, I actually messed up the AI there of the Lings. This gateway could have died. Regardless, Ryu is in a great position right now. He's ahead by 10 workers. He's got his third up and running. Oh my... Okay. At least INFANSON doesn't lose his Warp Prism. That was close though. Like, if those queens were a little bit more active, INFANSON could have lost everything. And there it is. This is what happened in the previous game. He's doubling down, throwing down more gateways. +1. Blink is on the way. He is going to work on another follow-up round 2 all-in push. The problem is that this time he doesn't have a third, and this time Ryu, he's gonna be prepared. Oh, thank god. I don't know if you saw, he had tunneling claws on the way in Burrow, and he cancelled them. Thank god. He realized, yo, there is no third base. It's a 2-base all-in. I cannot waste resources on tunneling claws again. Instead, he throws down spines. He's getting prepared. We will not have a repeat of game number 1. Ryu doesn't want to make the same mistake again, and this time he meets the army. We have some biles landing. The adepts do not get in. But that's still a lot of adepts. You gotta respect the shade. The Immortals are trying to push on forward, but the spines are finishing. We even have a we even have a backup Roach Warren on the way, just in case this one dies. Meanwhile, he's just pushing on forward. The adepts are falling left and right. The Warp Prism exposes itself a little bit as well. He's got to be careful. He does take a little bit of hull damage. And GG gets called. INFANSON runs out of steam. He doesn't have a third base. He was all in, and he couldn't pull it off. Ryu, El Condor, the cranky duckling, is our champion. GG, well played. Congratulations, Ryu, El Condor himself. I was so scared. GG, well played. Congratulations, Ryu, the cranky ducklings. He is our Sentimiento Latino champion. But also, a massive shout out to INFANSON, because he caused the upsets of the century here in Latin America. He took down the Zerg Lord, he took down Zions, 2 established pro players, 2 of the best when it comes to Zerg and Protoss in this region. INFANSON popped off today, and he made a name for himself. Until now, INFANSON was a semi-pro, but because of how much he has improved, and because of his performance, even taking Ryu all the way to the ace match, that's insane. And honestly, now we have a new Protoss on the block here in Latin America, and we needed one. Zions, Parker Mike, Shakti, they've been kind of resting on their laurels a little bit when it comes to Protoss players in this region. But for INFANSON to step up like this, I'm excited, and I'm happy to see INFANSON do well here. Wasn't enough to win, but again, a very, very strong performance. My god. So congratulations to our top 4 players today, as they all get a payout. Thank you so much as well to Lord Loken, because Lord Loken boosted the prize pool on Matcherino by 25 USD. Thank you so much. And speaking of Matcherino, I say this, I have to bring this up one final time. We still have 6 coupon codes left. Exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat if you want to help support this tournament. Add 50 cents for free to the prize pool. We still have 6 codes left. I ask at least 6 people in the chat to go to Matcherino and use that coupon code. And with that, we are done today. Wow, what a tournament. What a tournament. Also, a massive shout out not to just our top 4, but shout out to Saberlight, the Peruvian Protoss. He won the random raffle today, so he walks away with 5 USD. So yeah, at least he's able to make some money as well. And yeah, thank you. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for dropping by today, and for watching today's tournament. If you're tuning in for the first time and you're like, yo, what is this, Sentimiento Latino? 119? That's a lot of Sentimiento Latinos. This is a bi-weekly tournament. Every second week we have a Sentimiento Latino. It is a tournament just for the Latin American scene. Every other week we have Copa Hyperion, so plenty of Latin American StarCraft here. Sometimes players like Special and Sham show up. I don't think Kellizer has ever shown up, but Special and Sham do every now and then. And speaking of Special and Sham, we may see them tomorrow, because tomorrow here on the CranKy Ducklings on this channel we will be casting Battle of the Americas. It's kind of like this tournament, except it's a weekly tournament, and it is open not just to South America but also to North America. So it includes players that we just saw, like Zions, the Zerglord, Eggs, Parker Mike, Ryu, Sham, Special, as well as North American players like Trigger, Patty Mac, Vindicta, Nina, Pure Legacy. These are typically the American players that we see here, sometimes even Reaper. So yeah, we get to see North and South kind of battle it out there in Battle of the Americas. So if you're interested, we're going to be back tomorrow. Oh wait, no, sorry. Not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. Usually tomorrow we have Battle of the Americas, but tomorrow it is postponed. Why? Because we have qualifiers. TSL number 8, Team Liquid Star League number 8, the North America qualifier is tomorrow, and we will be casting that here on this channel. So yes, in less than 24 hours we will be live with Team Liquid Star League NA qualifier number 1. It's going to be a very long qualifier, and I'm excited. We're always there for the qualifiers of DreamHack, TSL, Aces ROG, King of Battles. So there have been a lot of qualifiers going on at the moment, and TSL is upon us. We're going to be an English stream covering the TSL qualifiers for North America and for Korea. We're also going to be covering, or we just covered the King of Battles qualifiers. We're also going to be covering the DreamHack Last Chance qualifiers. So plenty of StarCraft going on right now, as well as the regular weekly events. Battle of the Americas is postponed and will take place in 2 days. So 2 days from now, the day after TSL. So yeah, plenty of StarCraft going on here. Consider following the channel if you're interested. If you are interested in North American, Latin American, Oceanic, Korean StarCraft, it's all here on this channel. We are live consistently throughout the week. Usually I'm casting with someone else. Today, unfortunately, Darking was busy, so he could not join me for a cast. But I'm sure he will be there for Battle of the Americas, so don't fret, don't fret. He will be back. Meanwhile, when it comes to the Korean events, I'm usually casting with Yaku. Yakuzaku, he was in the chat earlier today. I could see him cheering for our boy Ryu, so yeah, I usually cast alongside him when it comes to our Korean events and Oceanic events. So again, if you're interested, hit that follow button. Again, Matcherino in the chat to add 50 cents for free to the prize pool. And my voice is so tired. I usually don't solo cast, and it really took it out of me today. I need some water, I need some breakfast, I need some food. I hope everyone had a good day today. Beautiful StarCraft, beautiful StarCraft. I really like the C and SA style, so much variety. Yeah, there's a lot. There are some very unique players. Shout out to Miyamaika, Ender, Gogo Joey, a lot of the Southeast Asian boys. Yeah, very unique players. And yeah, I hope everyone had a good time today. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow, the TSL qualifiers for Team Liquid Star League, and I hope you're there. There are going to be more streams covering that event. Ourselves, I'm sure Rotterdam will be there. Steadfast, Chicken Man, maybe Alpha X, the usual suspects. Again, because that bracket is so large, there are going to be a lot of games going on tomorrow for the NA qualifier, and there are going to be a lot of streams to cover it. So be sure to check that out, support TSL, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you're interested in us, again, don't just follow us here on Twitch, but follow us on all the social medias: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Join our Discord server if you want to interact with us outside of just these casts. And if you want to go one step further, you can help support us here via Twitch with subscriptions, Twitch Prime. We have our Patreon page as well. All that good stuff. Thank you so much. Oh, right. Sorry. Predictions. Congratulations, Ryu. Congratulations for sure on making a lot of points there. A lot of bank in that prediction. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Hold on. Once again, shout out to Ryu.